We have a young king stacking sats. He is named Kelvin, also known as DatSupraKid on X. He's a young man in his 20s who is staying humble and stacking sats. Kelvin moved to Scotland from Zimbabwe, and we're going to hear about his story, his adventures, his travels, and apparently some fairly relentless self-learning in the world of Bitcoin. He's a reader of many books, a tinkerer in Bitcoin, building devices, putting in proof of work. I have enjoyed his posts on X, and he looks like just a very young, smart Bitcoiner with a story to tell. That's why I reached out to him. Anyway, welcome, Kelvin. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Fritz. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's morning time for me, and like afternoon for you.
Yeah, so 4 p.m.
It works across the globe. It's a miracle of the internet. I love being able to make it happen.
Definitely.
What are your earliest memories as a child? You were in Zimbabwe till about 5 years old, correct?
Yep, 5 years old.
What do you remember early on in your life?
Early on, man, I just remember being free, touching grass, running around, seeing animals. Yeah.
And then do you know why your family moved, or what caused a change?
Yeah, so my dad, he had a taxi business. But it was going well for a bit, but he kind of wanted to transition, and he had a friend who'd like write him letters, who was actually in the UK, and was like, yeah, man, you have to come visit. So, he ended up making the move, bringing us all there. And we first settled in Wolverhampton, I believe it was, staying with my uncle while they kind of like found their feet. Yeah.
So he had a connection there, and was any of it perhaps economic? I mean, you hear the stories about the money, the Zimbabwe.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, I've got that bill there, that's the 500 million. But I've heard other stories about there were like longtime school teacher, career school teacher in Zimbabwe, and the government up and cut like 12 zeros off the end of the money. And it was like,
yeah.
The money changed.
It did. I would say definitely economic, because he was saying like, you felt like poorer even though like money was coming in. Obviously, it was being devalued at the same time. So I assume that's why he made that move.
So your family's plan B was England, Scotland.
Yeah.
And now, what do you remember the journey, the travel, what that was like at all? Do you have a memory of how that felt?
Man, I just
pretty young.
Yeah, not really. Not really.
So you fairly much feeling raised and grown in Scotland, and quite immersed and native. Like when my family came to America many years ago, when they got to America, they're just like, we're American. Do you feel more identified with England and Scotland, or do you have a sense of roots and connection to Zimbabwe? Is it kind of a mix?
Definitely a bit of both. How would I put it? I can't. So because I came there young, I was like fortunate to have like good people around me, so that, I didn't feel like a total outsider as I was growing up and stuff. I mean, you did have the occasional, backlash and stuff, but it wasn't like extreme as you like hear on other stories. And then, in the house, speaking a bit of Shona, I was like, okay. And then eventually, some years after, that's when I made my first trip back, when I was a bit older. And I was like, oh, wow. So this is where I'm like really from, So yeah, definitely.
That must have been very interesting. How old were you then?
It was actually one of my uncle's weddings. I think 12, around 12. 12, yeah.
Were you bilingual at the time, or do you speak much of the native language in Zimbabwe?
When I go back, I'm like forced to, because like when I'm speaking to like my older relatives, like they speak like deep Shona, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But mostly English when I'm here with my mom and dad, my little sister.
Cool. I bet I mean, it's hard for me to relate because for me to go back to any origin roots, it's like it's in Germany or
Right.
or actually England and Scotland. I've got a bit of both. And we did that, like I told you off before we got on here. When I was 13, we did a journey back to Scotland, went to
Yeah.
Glasgow, Edinburgh, the castles. And the family story were these sort of origin stories of like our people like at one point came from here. And for
Mm.
me, it's like, well, and they speak the same language, the culture's, different but similar, and you can relate to a lot in a way. And
Mm.
so for you, when you go back to Zimbabwe, there's much more of a cultural, I mean, the language, economics, cultural differences. So it
Yeah.
probably feels a lot more immersively like, oh, this is quite a change my family's had.
Definitely, because it's like so different. Like as soon as you get through like border control at the airport, like everything's different compared to the
Uh-huh.
UK. So like that's where it starts. Yeah.
And you can fairly easily travel back and forth. Now, is it ever hard to, well, so for example, you may have other family or friends still
Uh-huh.
back in Zimbabwe. Can they readily come and visit, or is that all kind of hard?
Yeah. I believe if like they've got valid visa and stuff, they shouldn't be no problem.
Okay.
Speaking of, I actually am planning to make a trip there at some
Oh,
point
cool.
this year because my passport is due to run out.
Ah,
So I'm also like a dual like citizen as well.
oh,
So
cool.
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Now it's got to be beautiful country. I've only heard about it. I want to just throw up here to the screen for people who have heard of Zimbabwe, but are like, it's just a concept. Here we are. And am I sharing that? Here we go. There we go. Okay. So yeah,
Fantastic.
I mean, Africa is so huge.
It
And
is,
then,
man.
so wait, here's what's interesting. When I was a kid, I thought of England as being, or the United Kingdom, Scotland, England. I thought of them as being sort of like, I don't know, a large country. It's
Yep.
it's an island. I mean, all of these countries in Europe, I mean, they're like the size of some of our larger states in the States. But
Yeah.
anyway, now Zimbabwe is as big of a state, but it's way down here in this giant continent. Anyway, so your family's from anywhere in particular around here, or if you care to share?
Oh, so I know for sure my mom's side is based in Mutare. I don't know if you'll be
Mochare,
able Mutare, yeah.
Mutare.
As far as like
Oh, I'd
specific,
have to look for it.
quadrants, I wouldn't be able to find it. But is further out, from the city. We're talking a lot of like greenland, farmland,
Uh
like
huh.
at my granddad's house. We've got like a big mango trees, guava trees. Um, I've also got another uncle in Blue Isle. He has a tobacco farm.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, I've got families all over, even in the city. So yeah,
Big parks. What animals do you remember seeing down there when you're there? What strikes you as like, oh, these are native animals?
definitely cows. It's
Cows.
always the cows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the sacred animal.
definitely. Cause I believe like um I'm not sure too sure like your culture when it comes to like marriage and stuff.
Uh huh.
Like there's like the whole
Like a
dar
dowry.
yes.
Yeah.
So like giving like cows and stuff, that's like a tradition here.
Yeah, it's a little watered down in our culture. I mean, there's like gifts exchange and things for the bride and groom. It's not so much, um, bride's family to the groom's family or vice versa, I should say.
Yeah,
But I mean, similar concept. In some of those cultures, though, it's like, oh no, um, you're getting some cows for the marriage, you're,
for
the
sure.
dowry, the cowrie.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you studying in school? What have you studied? What have been your interests growing up in Scotland? And yeah, just kind of what made your brain work the way it does, you think? Is it just the way you are, or has it been some
Yeah.
environmental?
I think so, man. I would always say I've been definitely, the curious individual.
Uh-huh.
So high school. At this point, I'm in Scotland. Because had moved up from England.
Okay.
So we're actually in Aberdeen first. That's where my little sister was born, actually. So like
Okay.
sometimes we joke around and be like, haha, like you're from here, she's from there.
Aberdeen.
Yeah. And then eventually we moved down to Glasgow. So anyways, high school, did my usual subjects, like math, English. I did take a big interest in computing science. Um, I had a games design class and music technology. So kind of those subjects kind of really got my brain going. And I was like, because I'm a big gamer as well. Anyways, back to the curious side, like tinkering with things. We're learning about code and like Wi-Fi. And while I was following along, I was the stuff I was thinking was like, okay, so how can you like break it or mess with it? So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the thinking I had towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that as a kid too. Like you learn how something works and then you learn how you can kind of hack it or
Yeah.
break it or work it. And I love that stuff. I was in high school and early hacking days. This was kind of before the internet. It was dial in stuff. But yeah, it's natural. Like you start learning about, oh, there's ways that all this works and I
Yeah.
can like make it do stuff. And
Definitely.
there's rules, but you can do other stuff too. So
Yeah.
now was it, I guess tell me your Bitcoin story. So you're into tech and you got the curiosity of mind.
hmm
And then did you just stumble across Bitcoin or did somebody tell you about it or did you just self-teach?
Yeah. So kind of building on from that like time in school. Back in time, I was playing a lot of Roblox and I had Discord as well.
Oh yeah.
And I found a guy, an individual in Discord, and he said like he had like these like cracking tools, and I found that quite interesting. But he
Uh-huh.
said you can only get them if you give me, I think it was about like £50 worth of like Bitcoin, like
Uh-huh.
back then. So we're talking 2017. I'm not sure
Okay.
what Bitcoin price was back then. So I,
Uh-huh.
I really wanted these like programs because I wanted to like mess about,
Uh-huh.
yeah, that kind of thing. And then I remember making my first Coinbase account, linking my debit card and whatnot, and then bought some Bitcoin, managed to send it to him, and then I got the program.
Had
So
to
that was like
figure
my
it out.
yes, that's kind of how I first got into Bitcoin, and then what's it called? From there, like I didn't really touch it again, but I did really think it was cool how
Uh-huh. Oh, you could do that. It was worth something to him. So
yeah,
what is it?
for sure. So I did think it was really cool that I could like send this like digital currency to some guy, and to him it's valuable as like real money in a way.
Right. He
Yeah, so
treated it like real monies, but what is it? What is money? Huh.
exactly. So it
Yeah.
was a big hiatus from there. And then fast forward like past school, kind of got into the whole day trading, forex trading thing,
Uh-huh.
which at the time like blew my mind. So I was making money, losing money,
Yeah.
and I do remember trading Bitcoin as
Uh-huh.
well. At this point, it was around similar price levels. It was at 59K. I remember making about
Um,
£500 in
uh-huh.
profit. Uh,
Mhm.
Found it cool, but at the time, I'm still seeing it as some digital money, like an investment.
A trade. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it was actually only the back of last year. I'd like set myself a challenge to make a certain amount, through the markets,
Hmm.
and then like the proceeds, like my profits, I was saving them like I was putting it to stocks, so Nvidias, and then the altcoins as well. I had an
Uh-huh.
altcoin phase,
Yeah.
and then I don't know, man. I just started like looking at Bitcoin. I was like,
So some of it is number go up,
yeah,
market strategy. That's, I'll joke about it being like astrology for men, but it's fun. I mean, it there's kind of a range of the study of the science of the economics and the psychology and stuff, and then it gets into gambling. And so people are just kind of like, oh no, I'm using science, and they're just gambling. But
Sure.
did you do all right?
Yeah, I did all right.
Yeah.
You know, during COVID, that's when I was like, man, I felt on top of the world. And
Uh-huh.
then obviously, like most things, they do come down.
It's hard
So
to yeah, it's a different game when things are volatile down, and you're
yeah,
trying to like catch knives. Yeah. So
definitely. So I did have my big fall. So I went ghost for like quite a while.
yeah.
Because I did lose like a substantial amount of money, you know.
Yeah. Then you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, so like the back of last year, 2025, was me like coming back with a more conservative approach. So instead of
Um,
complete degenerate risk, it's like
uh-huh.
more calculated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, back to like my altcoin portfolio. I'm watching all these videos, like Alex Becker and stuff. And he's like, this coin's gonna 50x by October. I'm buying into all this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so I'm
I
looking
did
at
some of that.
yeah.
Yeah. Wait, I think most of us all do. I mean, it's natural. It's a new tech. You're learning how it all works. And you're just learning Bitcoin, but then, oh, this does more stuff and this does other stuff. And maybe faster is better, maybe bigger is better. You don't know. Anyway,
Exactly.
but yeah, you figure it out.
100%. So I'm looking at Bitcoin and I think at the time it's at like 109K. And I'm like, huh. Cause like historically we've seen like the big bull runs Bitcoin's had.
Yeah,
So in the back of my mind, I'm like, maybe I should put my money here, even though it's not gonna go up as much as all the other ones. I
sure.
feel like it's like a safer bet in a way.
All right.
And then I don't know. I found myself like, um, what's the word when you like scaling out of my positions from like ETH and so into
Okay.
reallocating.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now I've got like 50% of portfolio in Bitcoin. The rest is alts. And then at this point now, I'm looking into, okay, what really is Bitcoin? I
Yeah.
seen I seen like the white paper. I seen like Genesis block, and that's when I started like, wow, like this is revolutionary. Like how have I not known this? Oh, like I've been blindsided this whole time.
It's amazing how we all
Yeah,
enter it for
right.
initial reasons that are different than where we end up. I mean, obviously, but yeah, whether it's number go up or, oh, it's just cool tech.
Mhm.
And then as you start to learn it, it's like, oh, it's such a big thing. Did it ever connect with you about the money, like the Zimbabwean money? Did that ever hit you as like, in Zimbabwe, that money, they got the Zig now, I know, but
Yeah,
it's, I mean, they've tried to survive fiat for decades, and
hundred percent.
they're just sliding. But did that affect your thinking about origins of money as well from Zimbabwe at all?
Not until I'd started reading like books about it, specifically the Bitcoin standard. That's kind of what brought everything together for me, and I was like, oh my goodness, like
Are these your books here?
yes, got them in the back here, so blurred out. But yeah,
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. I've got almost all of these. I happen to not have Jimmy Songs. That I don't have that one. Oh, what's Modern Chains about?
Modern chains. So
I've heard of that.
that's my next read. But what I know about it briefly, I believe the author takes a bit more of a like a philosophical approach towards like the whole problem solution, and like not that like the money's broken, but it's like more evil, like the money's
It's like
evil.
modern slavery stuff.
Yeah. So he kind of like that's kind of like his viewpoint towards the book. So I,
Uh-huh.
so I found that kind of interesting. That's why I picked that up. So I can't wait to
And
get.
you got your Bitcoin there. This book
Yeah.
here, long before well, Bitcoin wasn't invented, but I mean, there are precursor things leading up to things, but this
Hmm.
was the first book that I read back in the
Yeah.
turn of the century. Like it might have been 2001 or two, I think. And I this one changed my mind about, oh, what is money? And so this creature from Jekyll Island turned me
Yeah.
into a bit of a gold bug. I was like, well,
No
if the
way.
paper is corrupt and issued and however they play that game, I'm
Hmm.
starting to see that. So I'm gonna what's the escape hatch here? Maybe gold. I don't know. So I just tried to move stuff into metals. And but I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
So and then along came Bitcoin, but I also didn't figure that out for till much later. But anyway, you
Yeah.
got a good library there.
Yeah. So I can't wait to, get through most of those. So yeah, the Bitcoin Standard, that was my first book.
Yeah.
And I liked how he was talking about like the rhinestones and like how to use the agri beads. And then this is where I'm now starting to, tie like the old Zim dollar. I'm like, oh, like hyperinflation,
Uh-huh.
this is how we're here. And from there I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most important thing happening right now. Like nothing else matters.
Uh,
What?
it's a yeah, you get the bug. You take the orange pill and you're like, you start seeing everything like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about it all the time. Do you
Yeah.
have friends that also understand, or does your family relate at all, or are they kind of like, oh, okay?
Well, friend side, no, I'm still trying to, bridge that
Yeah.
gap. But family, like I have been telling my dad about it, and he's been buying some, so that's good. But for him, it's just like some more reading and stuff, because how like all the recent like fraud with like the files and
Sure.
all this stuff. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
but like I'm reminding him like the core principles that like the supply, it's on a fixed schedule. you know no one can take it from you, can't be debased, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I just
It
try.
follows rules.
Exactly.
You're the you're doing good for your family, and it's hard when you're the. I mean, I've got plenty of acquaintances and friends and coworkers and stuff, and a handful of them like are aware of it and aren't against it. They just don't really understand it and
Yeah.
may never really get there till they need it. And so you can kind of feel alone in that regard. Are there like meetups where you live or places people you can connect with about it, or is it pretty much online?
Mostly online. I
Yeah.
I, I believe there's one meetup, but uh, they kind of do it when all of them are free, because they are a bit older and stuff. So they've got stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping to get to like a meet, or at least like a conference. Well, a good conference. I've been told not all conferences are good ones to go to.
Yeah. What is one in England? There have been a couple. Peter McCormack is in outside of London, I think, Bedford.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
he put one thing together, and he's got that soccer club, football club, I should say.
Yep.
um, and I'm trying to think of another England. I'd have to look it up. I'm not familiar with them. I've not been to one in England, but yeah, they're fun to go to because you can kind of be like, oh, they're going to have these speakers or
Mhm.
these events or things going on, topics.
Yeah.
Okay. And then once you're there, it's just so much bigger than all that. Just all the people, the energy. You start talking to people, you feel the vibe. Like
Yeah.
it's motivating. It's very inspiring. So they're fun.
Yeah. I can't wait to experience it. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. And Glasgow's got I mean, it's big enough of a city. It's probably got something going on. There's Bitcoiners all over there, surely.
Oh,
But
for sure. I'm sure there's. I just need to have a look. And oh, that's the other thing. Like back when I was doing all the trading stuff, and things went kaboom. Took like I kind of like went ghost, so I was just like under the radar. So
uh-huh.
like all this like coming on yeah, your show and stuff, like this is kind of like me coming back outside my bubble again. So
Nice.
it's encouraging, man. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to, not that anyone's in a rut or anything, but you retreat a little bit, you reconcile yourself, you're kind of like, okay, when the fiat price grinds down or just sideways for a long time, you kind of have to reevaluate your convictions about it all. And it's time to, some people, some people just sell and like, oh, I just can't handle it. But for good Bitcoiners like us, we study, grind. You can see it as, staying humble and stacking sats. And
Yeah.
so like price is good to stack. What's hard about it is that people maybe that you have orange pilled like earlier this year, they enter it with number go up, fiat monkey brain, and they just see number go down and they're like, and you're like, well, time preference, you can say all the things, but people don't always get that. So orange pilling, when people are just looking at the superficial price of it, can be hard. And hard for people you're talking to about it, or they're like, oh, how's your Bitcoin doing? And you're like, fine. They're cheap.
Yeah.
How's your dollar? How's your pound doing?
Right.
So anyway, how's the euro doing?
But even then, they won't get it.
Yeah, I think people. So it's interesting how people kind of figure it out sometimes. Really, like when they need it. And so needing it being like, okay, like you're in Zimbabwe and your currency is becoming garbage or has been garbage, or you've seen it. So obviously like this, where does this money come from? Like, really? Okay. Or people are trying to get off fiat and into something. It might be stable coins, but hey, like Bitcoin is like a solution. And on the other hand, sometimes people need it. I've heard other stories like yours where, they needed to make some random transaction in it. And they're like, oh, well, I just got to figure this out. What is this? And they get off zero enough to make like one transaction and they just see that it worked. And then they're like, oh, it worked. And I needed it for this one thing, but you still needed it. And in maybe a lot of Europe and in England, Scotland, the States, a lot of people don't feel like they need it. It's kind of like their fiat's not so obviously bad, or it's just slow enough that they don't notice it enough. Things are just a little more expensive all the time.
Yeah.
So the need is not quite stark enough for some people. So anyway, but it's heading there.
Definitely.
Now you've got, speaking of kind of laying low for a while, you have a YouTube channel that, and I'll just show this up. This is a side interest of yours, but you've got a YouTube channel and you're into cars. Tell me about the cars.
Oh man, so what's called? When I was, I think 5 years old, my dad actually bought me like a radio control Toyota Supra, and I fell in love with that thing. Honestly, like, I was playing with it all day. I just loved how it looked because I had like this cool body kit and like some like teal green finish, some vinyl stickers, all that stuff. Anyways, so then also during that time period, the Fast and Furious movies were being released. So I actually also ended up seeing Too Fast Too Furious like quite young as well. And man, it was just like, wow, this is
exciting, so cool. And cool cars. Yeah.
So since then I've been like a big car enthusiast. But my heart is with the 90s Japanese sports cars for sure.
Can you posted some, did you make these videos of the cars and piece them together and stuff?
Yeah. So if you can click onto videos for me.
Yeah. Which one?
The tab where it says home videos playlist.
Oh yeah.
Videos. Yeah. What's the first one? Okay. So that one, that Supra that I'd seen, this guy was actually driving through town and I seen it. I was out with my friends and I was like, no way. So I took a video of that and posted it on my Instagram. And then someone actually tagged the owner in the comments. He reached out. He was like, hey, that's my car. And I was like, dude, no way. Like, can I get a ride? And then this was us organizing that video, me riding passenger. So that's kind of like
Cool.
how it started. I was like, oh, I should like start reviewing people's cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My internet, the bandwidth for the stream is a little janky here, so it's slow.
No, that's okay. That's okay. And yeah, so the Supra has been like my dream car. And then with the day trading, this was like my way to get one. So that's kind of like why I named myself like DatSupraKid, because I was so set on getting one.
The Supra, that makes sense now.
Yes. So I'd actually like accumulated the funds to get one. What's it called? This was back in like 2021. I'd started with about like £2,000, managed to turn it into 30K in like a space of like it was quite a short period of time. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
Like about a month.
Being so young, it's like magic money. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got the money in my brokerage account. I'm looking at it, and then I'm now on Auto Trader, which I think is like the US equivalent of like Craigslist.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm looking at different listings, and then I've seen this blue one for sale. I actually phoned the guy. It was like, okay, is the car good? Looks really good. And then, so at this point, I'm supposed to like withdraw the money, right? And then this is where, you know, greed and stuff starts slipping in. And I'm like, okay, if I can double this amount, I can get my Supra, and I can put a deposit down on the house. And then that's when the downfall happened.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, it kind of fell through, but it still is on my bucket list to get.
So the cars kind of created a tangible goal for you to, you know, to hustle it. Were you ever able to get a car you wanted?
Not yet. Not yet. So it's still in the process of
dare to dream. Yes, someday.
Sure. But like, you know, it's funny you say that, because I know you mentioned with Bitcoin, like time preference, you know, all this stuff was like, oh, I need it now.
Yeah, right.
Whereas now it's like, you know, like if it happens sooner rather than later, like great. But like my desire towards all these like material things it's not the same as it was before. You know, nowadays, like I'm focused on, you know, like my health, my knowledge, you know, spending time with, you know, family, loved ones, you know, creating value, saving value in Bitcoin. So yeah, I like how like Bitcoin's kind of reframed things for me, because I'm like so impulsive, you know.
It reframed your brain. It did for me. It does for most everybody who spends some time in it. And at your age, it's pretty impressive, because I mean, a lot of adults I know, but myself, I'm impulsive at times myself. And time preference, yeah, so it's a constant kind of evaluation of, okay, how far ahead am I planning, and for who, and for why, and what?
Yeah.
And at your age, it's maybe less common. A lot of people are just, you know, YOLO. You only live once, and you're having fun. You're young. You got plenty of time, you know. But man, as a young king, stacking now and having that time preference, then yeah, later down the road, I mean, whether things kind of spring pop this year or next year, it's not that far away. And I think people holding Bitcoin are going to be happy they just held. And yeah,
for sure.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'd say and maybe I don't know the younger generations where they're at real well. I mean, I have kids, but you know, they're busy in school, or they're not thinking of like investing so much. It's kind of like school, job, work. Will I ever own a house? I mean, you can kind of feel left behind, I think, maybe. Or you're not sure, like, well, where do I go in this world? What do I want to do? And does that make money? So you got a lot on your mind as far as the sky's the limit, but where do you focus your time and attention? So it's not straightforward. When you're mid-career like I am, it's kind of like, well, okay, I've got this path kind of paved now, but on the side, I'm going to try to do what's better, you know.
for sure.
When you're younger, it's like, well, I don't know, I could do like all kinds of anything. So what do you
Yeah.
feel right now? What do you feel like you'd want to do, say, when you grow up? Or do you think about
Mm.
career stuff, or do you know?
So like long term career. Yeah.
Yeah, if you know, or just things you're interested in, maybe too.
Man, so like back to like the car thing, it would be like I think like basically coming back to YouTube but on like a bigger scale. So like those cars I'd seen those like that Supra I was in
Uh-huh.
that just so happened to be in my city. Uh but I would like to, go down to England, see more, eventually come down to the States, see cooler and cooler builds, vlogging as well, all the car shows. That would be really good to do. And then aside from that, on the Bitcoin side, maybe start doing like tutorials,
Yeah.
like how to use like Mempool Explorer, setting up like a multi-sig setup using Sparrow, etc. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And just like helping people. Um and also definitely going back home to Zimbabwe, like hammering Bitcoin, Bitcoin.
Oh, there's a market for it there. I mean, some people just need maybe help getting the connection. And I mean, I don't know what they do there all the time, but it might be they start using Bitcoin, but they got to be secure about it or be careful with it. I mean, you're saving what little you can, and if you got hacked or scammed or something, that's a big deal. And
Yeah.
education is going to be helpful. And I think also when it comes to the cars, I mean, you look at they there's specialized stuff that they retrofit or add on to these engines and things. And
Yeah.
the mechanics of cars, uh, working on cars too, if that's an interest. I don't know. I
Definitely.
dabble in mechanics, but I'm no mechanic, but it's interesting stuff.
All right. Yeah.
You have now
Owning a garage as well.
you put together a seed signer,
I
so you're
did.
tinkering in hardware.
Got it right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Hold that up again.
There we go.
Yeah. I saw those guys in a conference in Oregon, Portland, Oregon. We had a booth for MicroSeed here, and they were right
Nice.
next to us. Really, really smart, techie guys. And they
Yeah.
build a device that, I mean, you can off chain, air gapped, create your own randomized seed phrase, all the things. It's really cool.
I
And
love it.
so, yeah, great guys, great company, open source, and they're just very collaborative. So yeah,
Yeah,
support from the Human
definitely.
Rights Foundation.
I was actually speaking with so this one I've got specifically this is the Seed Sign Up Fork by Crypto Guides YouTube Tips, I think his name is.
Uh-huh.
So it's basically the same like base software, except the only difference is it's got like a smart card slot. So you can
Ah,
so you can like put like a Java what's called 1 second. Like a Java card. This is like a metal one, but
okay.
they're usually plastic. You can put it in and you can actually like store secrets on there or
Ah,
load like a multi-sig descriptor on it. So it's instead of having to like scan the QR codes. So it's just like small extra features. So
that's cool.
yeah, um,
Awesome.
yeah. And but back to like the original Citana guys, I was speaking to one of the lead developers, Keith. He's so smart.
Uh-huh.
I was asking him some questions, and like even just the way he put stuff, I'm just like, wow, like the gap in knowledge. Like this is what I like, being surrounded by people who know more than me. So I don't feel like I'm in an echo chamber. So I really like that.
Yeah, you can meet the people that are happy and willing to educate and share. And I'm just throwing their website up here. Uh, I'm trying to remember who it was that I met, but anyway, just great guys. very, very happy and willing to explain and teach and go down the rabbit hole on the tech. And
For sure.
let's see, Keith, lead developer, Nick, lead maintainer, and they tell you exactly, they take donations. They're not strongly directly for profit, but they need support, so they take donations. But they tell you exactly, what proportion, where the money goes, and it goes right to the developers and the support guys. So
yeah, they do great work.
Cool.
I'm actually planning to buy the one of what's it called, the creator of Seed Seshi. He sells on his website like the tablets Entropia, and it's like the mnemonic words in a container, and you can
okay, yeah,
you can
there's
work
different
out.
kinds of that. I've heard of
Yeah.
some different kinds. What's the one you're talking about called?
I think it's Entropia V2. So if you go to the Seed Signer site and then hardware, you'll see a link for his store.
Let me see if I found it here. Oh, well, there's the pills, Entropia.
Yes, those ones.
Yeah, they had so these are very interesting. They had these at the booth in Portland last year.
All
Yeah,
right.
you can shake it up, dig your hand in there, grab a random word off the BIP 39 list.
Yeah. So that's gonna be one of my next purchases for sure.
Yeah, it's super easy. It makes creating your own seed phrase and making your own wallet super easy if you're trying to be random about it. This is about I had a talk with a guy who's really into entropy and approaches on how to do it really randomized.
Mhm.
This is probably one of the easiest, convenient, most entropic random ways to do it, and makes it just super easy. So it's a great idea.
No, definitely. And like I've got like my books posted. Like I'm trying to like build like a desk of like stuff. It would just be like a great conversation starter. Like, oh, what's that? And then I can like start
Jar
going
pills.
into yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you still in school right now? Are you studying?
No. So I'm 23 years old right now. Left school quite a while back. I did do an apprenticeship in IT, and I was alongside doing that. So I'll get like, I think I'll get like an associate's degree, kind of like equivalent if I'm like trying to convert it to like your side. So while getting that, I'm also working at a company, so I'm getting like the qualification and the experience.
Oh, nice.
So I worked with this healthcare company, and I was like tinkering about with Microsoft Azure, looking at like some web apps and doing what's called Active Directory, like assigning permissions to people and different stuff. Yeah, so that I did that, and then so right now I'm just working. Yeah.
Awesome. And I mean, that'll teach you a lot too, just in a corporate environment, IT support, IT administrative management, and or setups. And I mean, okay, so you got a system and servers and users and all the security, and people, different users and different groups have different rights or all the things. So
100%.
That's good stuff to learn.
Yeah, man. So like looking back, I'm just like, man, I wish I had like the ins and outs of like Bitcoin like back then. Like,
Oh man, don't we all?
yeah, for sure.
I mean, on one level, we all can feel late, like could have known things earlier. I was ready much earlier. I just didn't figure it out randomly or for reasons. And yet you can feel it now with this dip in the fiat. We're also early. Like for new people getting into it now, and they're like, well, I'm so late. I'm like, okay, you're late, and Bitcoin is affordable. The timing generally is good. Now
Yeah.
it could go down further, sure, but I tell you, we have higher lows going on, but we're in a low. We're in a low
Yeah.
state of macroeconomic stuff going on. You know, there's a little bit of FUD and fear over who knows, new Fed chair coming or
Yeah.
interest rates needing to print the money, what's going to go on in Ukraine, what do we, this, that, and the other. There's all these like things going on. So it's
Mhm.
impacted the macro economy. Things are kind of retreating from tech and on what they consider on risk investments. And they're going back into, say, like industry and the Internet of Stuff,
Yeah.
companies that make things. And so core materials. So, yeah, there's been a retreat into core stuff, but Bitcoin remains. And I think we're in a period of time now where maybe Bitcoin starts to find itself in the market, or not find itself, it is. But people are going to start to understand Bitcoin better of like, oh, it just keeps working with the same
Yeah.
rules. So the math hasn't changed.
No,
So we've got that on our side.
definitely. So it's like I'm kind of like grateful like the prices come down because like with my job I can just dollar
Save.
cost average even harder. So
Nice.
yeah.
Man, I'm proud of you for doing that. It's a mentality that a lot of people don't have generally. Younger people, I think, are kind of like, well, I'm just living. I'll do that later, or I don't know. Where do you start? But you figured a lot out there. Now, thinking about life in the UK and Scotland, particularly,
Mhm.
I guess I'll start out with whereabouts in Scotland and England have you traveled? Where do you like to visit? You've seen different parts of the country, or where have you all gone on the island?
So right now I'm living in Glasgow, which is in Scotland. So
Mhm.
it's just for the viewers. So like Edinburgh is like the capital, I believe, and
Uh-huh.
Glasgow is like the next neighboring city. Bit smaller. I mean, there's still some like history there, but I do really like Edinburgh Castle. I did go on a school trip
Oh yeah.
some years back. Besides those two, there's Aberdeen up north. I've been there. I believe there's like lots of oil there. Nice beaches. Apart from that, England side. Been to London, Manchester, Birmingham,
Uh-huh.
uh, Liverpool. I actually really enjoyed Birmingham. Funny enough, London as well. I like the city buildings and stuff. Um, yeah, I've been to I've been about for sure.
When I was telling you earlier offline, but yeah, when I was 13 years old, and you don't realize, it's a long island. You got to go way up north, getting up into Scotland. But we
Yeah.
flew into Glasgow, and then took a train to Edinburgh. And I
Mhm.
do remember, I think it was like an art festival going on, and we toured the castle, and it was just like magical. I mean, I'd never seen like a castle, and yeah, it blew my mind as a kid. Maybe I can bring this up here. Yeah, yeah, it's up on a
There we
hill.
go. Yeah, it's so cool.
It just blew my mind. It's so awesome. I mean, and it's not like it's huge in a way. I guess it kind of is, but it's all stone and layers of the walls, and you get up inside, and it's just awesome. Um,
Yeah.
and you imagine like a culture and a history where you imagine back in the day, like that's where the noble family lived. And then you
Right.
go out the gate and down the road, and that's where businesses and shops, and it's just fun to think about older times and how people lived back then.
Yeah.
So and then yeah, we traveled from there. What I loved about it was that we could take the train almost everywhere. We took the train everywhere, and we'd hop on the train, and we went way up north to the Orkney Islands, and we were way up in here looking at old like Viking ruins and
Oh
all
wow.
kinds of stuff, the coastline, and that was
Yeah.
cool. So So now getting to your life experience in Scotland, superficially, and I don't necessarily need or want to get into politics. I'm open to whatever you want to talk about. From an American perspective, sometimes you'll just see sort of the headline type news of things about Starmer or the immigration and nationalism, populism versus like governmental leadership around managing things about immigration and crime and I don't know whatever. But
Yeah.
you have probably perhaps a unique perspective on that because you can relate having come to Scotland from Africa.
Hmm.
Now, at an early age, granted, and you're very Scottish. Uh, do you have if you want to share, you don't have to like get into it, but do you have a view on kind of what's going on in England and Scotland with the politics or the immigration concerns, or what do you think about all that?
Man, I'll be honest. I'll what's it called? I, I I don't know if it's cause like I'm young and stuff, so you could kind of say like, oh, young and dumb. So I don't really like what's the word? Invest too much time into that stuff. But I do hear, some of the points and arguments being made. I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
interesting. I do know how I briefly like joined your show yesterday when you're on with uh the other
Proof of
guy.
play? Was that with
Yes.
Graham?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Graham Cook. He's working on an online game with the cards, and it's called BTC Proof of Play.
All
So
right.
now we didn't get into it a whole lot, but he's very opinionated about the politics.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
look at his feed, he's posting stuff about UK politics all the time. So
yeah. So I briefly heard there, but I remember you were saying like the sentiment about like Starmer is like no no one really likes him. So yeah, so I'm kind of like on that same boat. But as
uh-huh.
far as like specific issues and stuff, ah,
And that's
yeah,
quite reasonable and appropriate. I think it can be its own rabbit trail that can be quite divisive or like it can be toxic, I think, to your frame of your thinking because issues
mhm,
that come up, you're like, well, what side am I on? Am I
yeah,
for it or against it? There's a politician. Am I for him or against him? And you can get kind of into this left or right thinking about the politics. And that
mhm,
can be very distracting and maybe its own conflict of a game that sucks energy that you have. It can be quite negative, or you can want to vote harder or whatever, politicize things.
yeah,
And you might do that at the expense of your happiness, your mental health, the
for
time
sure.
you spend for the true solutions, which may be the money. So
Hmm.
anyway, I don't blame you at all.
Yeah, and but like I said, I try to stay open minded. So like, the other day I was watching you mentioned what's his name, Peter McCormack. He had like
Yeah, yeah. Peter McCormack. He's gotten very political too. He was talking about running for office or something down there.
oh,
I
has
don't
he?
I don't know if he did, but he was whether it was like they're like a governor or he was talking about running for mayor or something down there in Bedford, I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Because he's as a business owner, he feels
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
he's contributing a lot and he donates and volunteers a lot in trying to build up the community, not just through the football club, but for businesses and for Bedford and beyond.
Yeah.
And he feels sort of stifled by maybe existing leadership, the 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 economy, the taxes, or like literally paying taxes for I don't know, say police that aren't doing their jobs. He would say so.
Yeah.
Um, he's got his beef with at least the local government down there.
Okay.
So yeah, he's talking about getting political. I know he thinks very politically, but I don't know him. I haven't followed it that closely.
Yeah. So I mean, if you did go that route, I think it would be I don't know what's the word, like viable, good kind of candidate. Because
Uh-huh.
the experience, and then he does have his his Bitcoin side or whatever. So I think people would receive him well if he did step into that kind of role.
He's definitely building well, he's built quite a following. I mean, he created the What Bitcoin Did podcast, and he sort of handed that off to Danny.
Yeah.
Danny Knowles. I was just trying to look for that. But what Bitcoin did definitely added to my orange pilling. And when I first stumbled across it, it was the Peter McCormack show. I mean, it was just him, and he was traveling and interviewing people all over, in the States and elsewhere. And then he added Danny, and then I think McCormack had been in Bitcoin for quite a while, focused on business, focused on the football club, and very political. So he's still quite the Bitcoiner, but he really started focusing topics on politics and economy and other topics, that are of his interest. So,
Yeah.
have you been to Bedford?
No. I've not.
That's way down near London, I think. North of London, I think.
I'm not sure specifically, but
I'd have to look at it again. Where is Bedford?
Is it like north?
Let's see
North?
here. Romford. Let me pull this up here. There's London.
Been to Romford before.
I mean, Bedford's not like a big city, but
Yeah.
I don't know my geography.
But
anyway,
there's like a coffee shop there. So if I ever win, I'll definitely go.
Let's find Bedford. Yeah. Do you follow football?
Nah. Like I said, man, I'm like, as far as like sports, the closest thing I could say is F1. But even that I don't follow too closely. But I do like NASCAR and F1 as far as like sports.
Yeah.
Basketball is cool. I also like your NFL stuff. I find baseball interesting.
The American football.
For sure. So I'm not like a big sports follower, but I did used to play basketball back in high school.
Oh, cool.
And I'm quite, I don't know, I would say I'm quite athletic. I do like 10-kilometer runs every here and then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I can like appreciate the sport and stuff.
Yeah. Sports are good for people just generally, and to have teams and to root for teams. I think they're very good for communities to have, like for kids to grow up playing and then evolving into competition and evolving into the big competitive type sport world. At a real big high level, I can see the fiat in it too. Like when you look at America's, the NFL or some of the big clubs, it's like big money, the big draft, and this horse trading and the stadiums and the management of the economy of all that is crazy. I can always appreciate the ultimate athleticism in the sport. I don't pay close attention to it all. I can appreciate any game. I enjoy watching and learning what I can, but I only have so much space in my brain. And so I know people that know a whole bunch of stuff about all the sports and the stats and the players and the figures and the trades. I just don't have the time, or I don't take the time to focus on it, but I can appreciate it. So.
Yeah, what's like, so like for me, right? Like that's like aside like Bitcoin and tech, like cars is like my like thing. Like what's that for you?
Well, lately it's been okay. So a lot of it is family. I have a range of kids. So I've got a 21-year-old studying engineering in college. I've got a 18-year-old studying computer security and IT in college. Both of them kind of looking at career path stuff. So I've raised a lot of kids, and a lot of it's raising kids. I have a 12-year-old he's more into the mechanics level of Legos and crafts and Legos. I tell you. And I have a 4-year-old. So I'm busy a lot with family. When I do have like the extra time, it's like if I'm going to step away from just say largely it can be Bitcoin or podcasting or the MicroSeed business here, working on MicroSeed. Okay. So self custody. those take plenty of time. And I guess my hobbies that way are often kind of Bitcoin and business related.
Yeah.
So any extra time I have, it's often like, okay, like going out to touch grass. It's spending time with the kids. So being dad, it's often oriented around a lot of it's the 4-year-old. She's
I can
busy.
imagine. I can
So
imagine.
we'll play dress up and we'll play tag and hide and seek and go swing and jump on the trampoline and explore the woods down the hill. We've got a creek and some woods, and we'll
Nice.
go looking for fish and crawfish and see tracks, raccoon tracks, all the, we're just exploring the world. So that's been kind of plenty for me.
No, that's good. That's good. I
As
like that.
far as now, if it was just me and I had all the time in the world, I love gaming, video games,
Oh yeah.
as you do. I want
Uh-huh.
to ask you. So, and then some of this I only learned like, hey, what's cool lately? They'll be playing different games, like they were playing Dark Souls at one point, and which was hard.
Oh yeah.
And then some of the Nintendo Zelda World stuff has been cool. I
Nice.
love that stuff. I just don't have the time. But if I had all the time in the world, I love those big world environments where you're like first person perspective player in a large world.
Uh-huh.
I love that stuff. So, what games do you like?
Nice. So it's actually right in front of me. Hold up. Let me see if I can pull it off. Oh, there we go. So again, as you know, I like cars. So I've got racing
Ooh.
simulator over here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I've got like the pedals down there. Got
Awesome.
shifter. I mean, it's not the best setup right now because of space and whatnot. So yeah, car games. Do like GTA. But I've got a colleague at work. He's got like a huge Steam library. So he's been telling me about all like these like niche indie games, like those explorer games that you were mentioning. So I'm gonna like start getting into those as well. Yeah.
Try things out. There's so many little indie games that you can just get totally immersed in. They're really great. I mean, they might be simple in design in a way, but the world is very interesting and immersive. And yeah, no, that's fun. I love games. Honestly, I love video games.
Yeah, they're fun.
And board games.
Oh, speaking of, I've been really wanting to like get back into chess. I remember playing that in school, but it's I don't know, it's good for the mind, like the strategy and stuff. So yeah, definitely.
Chess is great, and at one point I thought I was decent, but I'm really not. I mean, I can randomly lose against, like my 12-year-old. I mean, he started just to learn the rules, and then I'd be playing nice and easy on him, and then I'd realize I'm like kind of playing for fun and to teach him, but then he would like get me in a corner and I would go, oh, I got to try to not lose. And he can beat me. There are times where I literally am trying to win and I'm so not good that my 12-year-old can beat me. So
no way. That's pretty cool.
It either tells you something about how not good I am or how good he's getting, I guess. But no, I love chess.
Future grandmaster in the making. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's an endless journey there. Yeah, that's awesome. So now what so the next book you're going to read is the you're looking at, let me bring it up. Oops, there's your seed signer. Of the books you've read, what has been your favorite one? The Bitcoin Standard, obviously accessible, foundational. What would you say has been kind of like the one you liked the most to read?
A really fun read for me was actually thank God for Bitcoin. I really enjoyed that one. It's like really small. You'll see in there. I found that a really fun read because it's kind of short, and there's like different scriptures that kind of help paint the picture.
Yeah.
And kind of like help you see that like these issues of like like theft through like the governments and stuff. It's been there for like a long time, you know.
Yeah, there's a documentary also called "Thank God for Bitcoin" that's really good.
Oh,
And oh, let me see. It's. I think it's on YouTube. Let me just bring that up if I can find it real quick. Oh, God, is it God Bless Bitcoin? Maybe it's God Bless Bitcoin. Yeah, Swan made it.
oh, nice.
This is actually pretty good. Now it goes into different faiths, but
Hmm.
basically, you might be Christian, you might be Jewish, you might be um, Muslim, Islamic,
Hmm.
uh, all kinds of faiths. It basically connects faith to money and references to money in Scripture, and how Bitcoin is the most ethical, honest, godly money. And
Yeah.
so getting into that, this is a very good documentary, and you might like it. So that brings me to, yeah. So, and speak to it to the level that you're comfortable. But for you,
Hmm.
um, your faith or your family's faith, how do you see that integrating in your life and with Bitcoin?
And honestly, like, so I'm Christian, so
Uh-huh.
you know, like, and like, you know, reading that book, it was really um really encouraging, because it's like, you know, when we speak about orange pilling, you know, I've got a lot of like friends who are Christian as well. You know,
Mhm.
I can kind of like use that as like a good resource to make things relatable, because I feel like explaining things like using things like analogies, and having good reference points really helps someone, you know, kind of grasp the message.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like that's really going to help me, especially like when I go back to Zimbabwe, like later in the year, you know, speaking with family and stuff, you know, can kind of take more of that, um, you know, scripture approach about how the money is like is not what you think it is, and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a oh, I was trying to find the Proverbs. I think it's Luke chapter 2, verse 1, and it gets into I'll just have to read it off what I searched here. And this kind of resonated with me. This is from the King James version, but
Mhm.
um, Caesar Augustus decreed that all the world should be taxed. Um,
Mm.
and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city, to be taxed with Mary and his espoused wife, being great with child. Basically, Joseph and Mary having traveled to Bethlehem to reconcile taxes, and they were poor. And that's where they stayed in their manger, and she had her baby. And so it was interesting to read that origin story in Christianity with
Mhm.
Bethlehem and Joseph and Mary and Jesus.
Yeah.
And it was, my goodness, it was about money and taxes, paying the taxes. People were going to town to pay taxes. And it was like, how interesting, just anyway,
Yeah.
random connection. So I
That's
think
good.
what I've talked to many Bitcoiners who are Christian. I've talked to Buddhists and Zen philosophy, but Bitcoin does tap into something deeper in you that is, you could call it your
Sure.
spirituality, your faith. It's like,
Hmm.
if you're a spiritual, faithful person and you have those kinds of ethics and values, and
Yeah.
then you look at the money system, it's like it it doesn't jive with
Nah.
things that are good for the spirit, good for humanity.
Yeah.
It's rigged, it's corrupt, it's criminal. And so things like Bitcoin can resonate with people of faith who, money is like, okay, it can be a neutral money. Anyone can use the money, sure.
Of course.
Criminals will use money, sure. But it's better than, say, the government issued fiat crime notes. Uh, so it can tap into things about faith. Oh, you
So
got a fire alarm going.
my shower, we got like a new I think boiler, I think it was called. So basically when you come out, like there's a fire alarm literally beside the bathroom. So like you have to like use a towel, like fan the steam.
It gets steamy and it thinks it's burning.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. That's funny. So anyway, maybe that resonates with you, where Bitcoin is sort of like that ethical, more spiritual money, more grounded, healthy money.
No, definitely, because like for example, like there's the technical side that's really stimulating for the brain. Looking at all this different stuff, and then there's like the money aspects, which definitely resonates on like a more spiritual level. And as I've been like stacking sats and Bitcoin, I feel more at peace, like
Yeah.
so it's great, man. It's great.
Yeah, because when you play that hustle game, it can get you caught up in incentives that may not be aligned with good values. I mean, people have to face that all the time. You make, whether it's business decisions or money decisions, and it's like, oh, if you're following a good ethical path, man, that fiat hustle can suck you in and corrupt people. I mean, money corrupts people. So yeah, Bitcoin has ethical rules, so it's compatible with good values.
Definitely. There was actually like early on in my journey, I actually took out a Bitcoin loan to test what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of the platform Hodl?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I took out like $100 worth of like Bitcoin just to see what it was like, and the guy, he actually sent me what's it called? He sent me like, he basically overpaid, like he sent me like twice the amount.
Oh,
So I was kind of like, an extra 100 would be nice. But like you were saying, like with the money, like I just send it right back, because you were talking about incentives and stuff.
uh-huh.
So it's really helped me understand like why people would do like compromising like acts and stuff just to get more of the money, but it's
Sure.
because it's flawed at its root. So yeah, definitely instills like a better like values and morals.
Good
Um,
for you.
yeah, man. So I
And
sent it
it
right
gets
back.
into like time preference. Like I could win now, but down the road, I mean, play that forward in your life, in your karma, your, your spirit, how that might stick with you. They
Yeah,
notice, or they point it out, and then what? Or you don't give it back, or you burn that bridge, or you sour relationships. You want to be that magnet for goodness and positivity, because it'll attract more of that as opposed
100%.
to the opposite. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time with me. Is there anything that you were wanting to share about anything, what we talked about, that we could add more to, or something that we didn't get to that you'd like to share?
Um, Off the top of my head, not really. And I know you like kind of mentioned like politics briefly. Like there's the
Uh-huh.
whole like debate with the nodes going on in the space, and
Oh,
it's
the node wars.
yeah. And honestly, it's something I've been trying to understand, but
Hmm.
bro, I can't keep up, because I'll be trying to like look at posts where people are having somewhat of a healthy discourse, and then it just doesn't become that. And then me as the outside person trying to like understand it all, because I've got a node. I run a node as well, so
Uh-huh.
yes, it's just like another rabbit hole I'm trying to grasp
Oh,
what
yes.
happens.
Yeah, it's like, well, and it can get into a competition of like, well, how maxi are you? Or you're not really a Bitcoiner unless. So it's like, okay, oh, you're into Bitcoin? Okay, well, yeah, but did you take self custody? Well, how'd you do that? Did you do it well? Do you run a node? Well, what kind of node?
Yeah,
There's so many, like, are you good enough? Are you good enough? And that is so far beyond most people. What we all want is that Bitcoin remains decentralized and secure. We all agree on more than what we disagree on. And
yeah,
so some of those arguments can be pretty technical in nature, or looking at long-term kind of maybe like game strategy of how Bitcoin remains robust.
Yeah.
And is Bitcoin being robust more like ossification, where it like you don't mess with it, you keep it? I mean, generally, Bitcoin doesn't change except with a lot of process and discussion. And yet we've seen other things come through that were like, well, you have to have been in the right channel or in the right group to have implemented that. And even then, it's still a certain brand of a node. You can still run whatever you want.
Mhm.
But you get into these arguments over stuff where we agree on much more than what we disagree about. But it's easy to focus on these disagreements. And I have my own strong personal opinions. I mean, I'm kind of here's where I come at it with is like, basically, what would Satoshi do? What would Satoshi want? Up on my wall here, it's like, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Now, to do more with that, we've added capabilities and features and functions. Sure. Oh, hey, beautiful. I like the dark mode. Yeah, you've got the same one I have. Mine's white.
Yeah.
I love that layout. It's beautiful. You've got the black paper. So, anyway, I think I'm like, what would Satoshi do? I think I know what Satoshi would think about it all. Now, granted, he passed the torch and stepped away, and bless his gift to humanity.
Mm-hmm.
I think about Bitcoin at a pretty based level, so I have my strong opinions. At the same time, I've heard some very technical arguments on the core side that I'm not technical and smart enough about to understand the incentives behind that.
Yeah.
I'll worry that there are incentives that are infected by fiat of like, oh, well, now it'll add this capability and you're going to get shitcoin on Bitcoin, and like, but the market will sort it out, the block fees, and it'll get sorted out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's kind of like having spam on email. Like, well, okay, we have spam on email, but to what extent and how much is it managed and regulated? And in a decentralized system, how well can you manage that, or how bad could it get? I mean, I worry about these attack vectors or risk vectors, or the ability to just run a node. I want plebs to be able to easily run a node and not have big hard drives full of trash.
For sure.
And then there's also game theory things about having a cohesive and consistent mempool. So I try to stay out of some of the argument about it, because there are aspects to the discussion that are technically beyond me. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
There are also very based arguments that are sort of, what's the word? Basically, strongly opinionated over ethical things that may or may not be technical. And if you start to go there, you can get into, well, but what about this? But what about this? And for me, it's like, well, trying to draw that line on, is it a money transaction? Now, maybe you have script and contract stuff in it, or multi-sig stuff in it, or capability in it, but ultimately it boils down to a functionality of a monetary transaction. And that's kind of where I draw the line. If it's adding stuff on it for fun, no thanks.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Anyway. So I have my opinions, but I try not to get argumentative about it, because I don't, like the title of this podcast, I call it Bitcoiners United, because I've had people on here that were more on the core side. I've had many, many others that are inherently much more nuts.
Right.
I will listen to both, and I want us to at least agree on the big point of it all is that Bitcoin succeeds and saves us all. So I want Bitcoin to succeed is what I want.
Me too, man. Me too. I like that. Bitcoiners United.
I've run core. I do currently run knots. I haven't done the 110 move. But I also kind of like with Bitcoin, like I haven't needed it. And I just haven't taken the time to try it out.
Yeah, especially with all you got going on. So yeah, it makes sense.
What I encourage is that people run a node. Number one, people are having these debates. And it's like, do you even run a node? We don't
Yeah.
have. I would say we need more nodes. I don't think we have enough nodes. We got like what 25,000 accessible distributed nodes.
All right.
Mining can get very centralized. Mining, corporate otherwise has its areas of centralization and mining, but the
Yeah.
network layer with the mempool and the nodes, that's still where all of us can contribute and have a vote, if you will, and decentralize the network. It's very accessible. So I just tell people, run a node. If you haven't run a node, just spin one up, try one out, do it.
Yeah.
And then so like I might say something about something, and people want to say, yeah, but which node? And it's like, I don't want to go there. I just don't want to go there. Run one of each. Try them both. Do your own research. So
funny you say that. So that's so right now I'm running core 28.1, I think it is. So so on my gaming PC. So I'm thinking whether to. I've actually got my old PC beside me as well. It's turned off. So I'm like, should I buy like a few more parts and run like a NOS node on that, or spin up a virtual machine on this one to run NOS, and then try figuring out the 110 stuff. But yeah, that's definitely good advice. And I like how you mentioned mining as well. I've had the replacement unit sent out. Hopefully it gets here soon, but I'm trying to get into the whole.
Oh, a miner, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into the whole mining stuff.
Is that a BitX?
Yes, BitX Gamma. So this one's from IX Tech.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're a cool group of guys in the States. They put them together and stuff and make like custom pieces. Yeah.
That's cool. That's another fun thing that people can do. You don't have to get too expensive about it. Like I have my little simple ones here. These are Solo Satoshi little miners going and
nice.
And running BitX on with Solo Satoshi. And it's another thing to learn where, okay, am I going to win a block, or am I going to get much out of a pool? No, but I'm contributing hash. And just the process of setting them up, connecting to it, getting the addresses configured and going, oh, I can do this. And then the next steps being like, okay, what's a template? Or can I use my own template? Or, all the things it's a way to learn. So
for sure. Yeah. So yeah, that's like my next learning curve that I'm looking forward to. Yeah, it's like I was saying with the cars, like Bitcoin's definitely captured me in that sense. Where like it's always something new to learn. There's so much to learn on different levels as well. So I love it, man. Like I could talk, yeah.
It's so awesome. Good for you, like I said. And so when at work or with your family or with your friends, it may not be right now, but like down the road, people are going to see you as, man, that guy who knows everything about Bitcoin, or the Bitcoin genius, or you start talking about it a little bit. I've had people say like, man, you have to be a genius. And it's like, no, it's time and study and interest, but you become that influencer in your circle of the guy who knows Bitcoin, and then you can be very helpful and keep people out of trouble.
Yes.
I was talking to a guy for years about Bitcoin, and he kind of went from being anti no coiner to curious to like, okay, I'm interested in it. And then even just more recently, he came back to me and he's like, hey, I heard about what about XMR or all these other ones. And there was another one that was like supposed to be gold backed, like what was it, AUX or something? I can't remember what it's called.
Was that the one from like Tether? I think there was two. There was like AXAUT and PAX T, something like that.
They have a gold tethered stable coin, if you will, which kind of
Yeah.
tracks the gold price, like Tether with the dollar. They have one like for gold, I think. So it's
Uh-huh.
tethered to the gold price. Okay, maybe useful in certain cases for things people are doing. There was another one that just had a story about it that was like, oh, we're like gold backed, but really it's just a shit coin.
Ah.
They issue coins based on gold holdings. They don't hold any gold. They're just going off numbers on reported gold mining and stuff like that. And then so that's their asset. But really it's just a story to base their token issuance on, which is completely inflationary
Hmm.
and could be rug pulled. I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
story. But anyway, so he, after years of Bitcoin talk, he came to me with like, oh, what about this one? And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, no. It's still Bitcoin. It's still Bitcoin. And I would explain why, but you can help keep people out of trouble with your education. So because
Definitely.
fiat's always going to fiat. So
Yeah, man. So yeah, I like what you said there. Like, you don't have to be a genius, because
no,
I started out knowing nothing. Now I've got my own self custody set up. Trying to figure out the whole mining stuff, and then as time goes on, like I said, I'm planning to maybe do tutorials, how to use Sparrow, like
awesome.
seed signer stuff. So I'm just trying to like lead by example. You know.
What's the language in Zimbabwe that they speak?
So funny enough, so there's
Or maybe there's many of them.
English, then there's Shona, and then
Shona.
there's the other tribe that speaks Debele as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say those three.
Are
Uh,
you very fluent in the other languages?
no.
Okay. I was thinking, man, you could make videos in those languages for the people there, but anyway. Yeah.
It'd be difficult.
Yeah,
We
you
try.
end up using technical words that are their own words anyway.
Yeah, but they do speak English there, so
Yeah. Okay.
it would
Well, it
work out.
works. Yeah. Well, that's exciting. That's cool. So
Yeah.
I want to bring people on how they can find you. You can go to X and find Kelvin at DatSupraKid at 9-figure sats. You can find him. You've
Okay.
got a feed. You're studying Bitcoin, sharing your projects and your research and your studies. This is how I first saw you. I just was kind of scrolling through your feed and going, "Oh man, you're doing a lot of interesting stuff, and you're a smart guy. I'm going to invite you." So,
Appreciate that, man.
if you like cars, you've got a YouTube channel. You may be adding to that some more later down the road, but
Definitely.
hot cars, Asian cars, the hot rods. And
Yep.
is there anywhere else that people might connect with you?
I mean, I do have the Instagram, but
You got
I,
Instagram, DatSupraKid.
I don't have. I'm currently locked out. Don't have access. So,
Oh,
and they're not being helpful bringing it back either.
you got your link tree here. So maybe someday Instagram.
Yeah.
You have a merch website?
It's used to. So it's not up at the time. So I used to have my merch website, and then I would also teach people like my strategy for the day trading stuff. So that's kind of like more of a like a word of mouth thing now, rather than like,
Uh-huh.
oh, hey, come find me. So like if people like really want to learn, I'll be happy to guide them through it.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah.
connect with Kelvin if you want to reach out. I'm just going to click on that. Oh,
That's
not up right now. Oh well.
long gone, man. Long gone.
Okay. All
So
right.
yeah, primarily X.
All right. X is primarily where you can find Kelvin and connect. Kelvin, this has been really fun. I really appreciate the time you've lent me today, learning your story, learning about the word I would use is autodidactic. You are very self-taught, and you have the courage and conviction just to go do things, despite many people not always understanding. But you're just going out and doing it, and you're learning it, and you're passionate, and you're smart enough to be teaching yourself and growing all the time. So it's been amazing to talk to you.
No, thank you, man. It's been a pleasure, because like I said, like I've been slowly coming out my shell. That's what I made the X profile like just in October. I was doing some posts, and I've been able to connect with so many cool people in like such a short space of time. And you know, coming on here, it's been like oh wow, like I need to do this more, get out to meets, you know, see more people.
You do great. It's kind of like dusting off the cobwebs, good practice, and feeling like, yeah, I can do more of this.
Yeah, man. Because before I was definitely nervous, like, oh man, what do I say? But yeah, you made it fun, comfortable. So
good. Yeah, I've had plenty, even people with experience, but they're like, well, what are your questions? What agenda? And I'm just like, you know what? Whatever you want. It's very open. I want to make it easy. No trick questions, nothing too technical. If you don't want, it can focus about your interests and just make it accessible. It's by the plebs for the plebs. So
for sure.
Well, we will wrap it up here. I'm going to play a little a word from my sponsor here. MicroSeed is my promo for that, and we will say goodbye. So thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. All right, bye. Bye. As a Bitcoiner, you know that taking self-custody is critically important. But if you've ever had a seed phrase, you've probably had it written down on something kind of like this. You can hide it or secure it, but paper burns, paper fades, paper gets wet, paper rots, paper blows in the wind. Paper has things written on it that might look important. So get off paper and get yourself a MicroSeed at microseed.io. Get the kit and crank out all the keys you'll ever need forever.